Okay, so I'm working on this drawing and this building here, and I want to add these wooden slats in to the building, but I don't want to have to hand draw every single one. So what I'm going to do is create a layer on which I can duplicate one hand drawn slat throughout the whole building. And I'll go through then and erase the parts of the slats that I don't need, such as around the window or around the door, which already has these vertical slats. And this is essentially what we're going to run through here, is how to draw on a line and then duplicate it as part of our drawing. So we want to create this on a brand new layer so that when we're erasing elements of our drawing, we're not going to erase the line drawing that we have here. So we'll create a brand new layer. We'll call this slats. Okay. And then we want to draw the longest line possible along the front of this hull here. Okay. So we're going to grab the brush tool, 2 pixel brush tool, and then we're just going to draw right from across here, right across our building. Okay. Okay. And so now we've got a nice line here. It's not overly perfect, so it's going to give a nice kind of hand-drawn effect when we duplicate this. So now, because this is on a separate layer, I can grab the Move tool, or V, select this, and then just move it down to the bottom. And I want to make sure that the overall flow of the line lines up with the bottom of this building so it doesn't look too out of proportion. So I'm just going to hit Command and T to bring up Free Transform, and then just rotate this line a little bit and bring it down so it kind of holds the line at the bottom here reasonably well. Okay, I'm not too worried, as I said, that it's not completely perfect, and that's kind of what we're looking for. Okay, and now we're going to make a selection of this line. So I'm going to select this and then go to Edit, Free Transform, and then just move this up just a little. Okay, until it's in the position of the next slat. Hit Enter to apply that transformation, and then now I can do Shift, Alt, Command and T, and that will repeat that transformation all the way up my building. Okay, so you can see here that my transformation is not quite perfect in that it's not kind of rotating with the angle of the building. So I'm just going to modify that to see if we can get that right. So I'm doing Alt, Command and Z to move or step backwards. Okay, and then I'm going to grab Free Transform again, so Command and T. And this time I'm going to move my position here across the left. I'm going to transform this just a touch, and I'm also going to give it a tiny bit of rotation. Okay, which will be amplified as we move up the building here. So I'll try this again, and you can see now that my slats are actually adjusting their angle as we move up there, and we've made a bit of a guesstimate on the rotation there, but I think we've got it just about right. Okay, obviously you can step backwards and do that again, but you can see how we can create those slats all the way through this building. So I'm going to just fill up the bottom of this here where I don't have a slat at the moment. I'm just using the cursor keys to move that into position, and then I'll just duplicate these manually down at the bottom. So I have slats all the way down the side of that building. Now, because we're on a separate layer, really simply now we can go in and we can erase the areas that we don't need. Now, if you're doing this for the first time, I'd recommend that maybe you duplicate your layer just so that you have a backup of it. So I'm going to do that. If I grab these slats, just grab this down to the new layer panel here. I'm going to turn that copy off and go back to my original slats layer, and then just grab the eraser tool. So E for eraser, and then just start to go in, and I'm going to change the opacity of the eraser to 100%. So I'm erasing everything, and then just move along the side of the roof line here. I can use R to rotate my canvas so I can kind of zoom in and just erase that up to the edge of the building. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and erase all this. Okay, until we've got this finished up and we've removed the slats from the areas that we don't need them to be. And the next step that we'll cover is how to color this building with some different textures. Okay, so you can see here, apart from a couple of areas where we still need to tidy up these lines, which we can go ahead and do now, we've got a nice even flow of our slats across the whole of that drawing without having to draw every single slat. But we still have a little bit of texture, a little bit of variation in the slats that we've drawn there. Okay, so go ahead and try that out on one of your own projects. And next we're going to have a look at how we color in different line drawings.